So from that time, we knew who we were. And till date, we have 7 main clans because God, our patriarch, actually had 7 sons. So we've kept those 7 houses intact till today. So when we look at this history, I mean, it goes all the way back. I grew up hearing my grandmother sweep the compound, singing songs that talked about our migration routes, singing songs that talked about how the Assyrians came in and kicked us out as a kid. And these are people who will say they're not educated, but they kept the history somehow in songs. And we grew up singing the songs without paying attention to the lyrics. Now you sit back and you listen to the lyrics, you're like, wait a second. Everything is in the songs. Wow. So it was fascinating to grow up celebrating the Passover. Grow up doing Sukkot. We don't call it Sukkot. We don't call it Passover. No, but we kept these feasts. I remember when during the Passover, we'll kill the animal, we'll take the blood and put it on the doorpost. At night, there is a gunshot. Nobody goes out. Why? Because we say the angel of death is coming. Wow. And everybody in the community honors it. Wow. Everybody. Everybody. It goes to the extent. So before what we call the Homo War, let me explain that. The Homo War festival is to commemorate our journey from Israel coming to West Africa. During that migration, we were met with a lot of hunger. There was no food. And if the Most High hadn't come through, we would have been wiped out. But he did come through for us. So what we do is yearly, we remember that event. So we came to call the event Homo War, meaning that we are hooted. We are making fun. We are mocking hunger. We are mocking what happened to us. So that is in commemoration of that event. But there was a feast that we celebrated called Yehovah. When you translate it, it means Passover. That is when we put the blood on the doorpost. That is when we stay indoors. That is when you go to your ancestral house where there are families. So even though we have tribes, we have families within the tribes. So the families will sit that night at the Passover table and we'll have to resolve any disputes. We have to make sure that going into this year, we are on one accord. So everybody goes to the family house, and then there is we don't bath in a mikvah, but we have a basin of water that you actually wash yourself with. It's the same thing, but we don't have to make a trip to the river to do that. Then there is pouring of libation. Brother Ron did a video on that. We still perform casting lots, pouring of libation. It's still done today. Wow. It's not gone anywhere.